Information is power. You are listening to Information Man. Please.
I hope the rain don't come in November, 'cause the summer went way too fast. I'm trying real hard to remember all of the good times and memories we had. And you called out crying.
Information
You
is
said
power.
our love was worth dying for. Yeah, that's why you keep on trying. But I'm really not moved by your tears no more. Yeah, she said if I can't have you, baby, then nobody else ever will. Yeah, because you've been driving me so crazy. I just hope that this love is for real. Yeah. She wanna hold me down and never let me go. You moving way too fast. We need to take it slow, girl, high key. You need to find somebody else besides me. Yeah, I understand that you like me. What a thought though. Rejection is a hard pill to swallow. If it's love, then let it be. 'Cause if you force it, you gon' end up with your heart broke. Yeah. I hope the rain don't come in November. Yeah, the truth. 'Cause the summer went way too fast. I'm trying real hard to remember all of the good times and memories we had. And she called out crying. You said our love was worth dying for. That's why she keep on trying. But I'm really not moved by your tears no more. You said your love was real, you said your love is strong. You tryna hold me tight and never let me go. You moving way too fast, we need to take it slow.
Welcome to the Intermission Man
hanging there for
Show.
way too long, girl, high key. You need to find somebody else besides me. Yeah, I understand that you like me, but a thought though, rejection is a hard pill to swallow. If it's love,
Information
then let it be.
is power.
'Cause if you force it, you gon' end up with your heart broke. I hope the rain don't come in November, 'cause the summer went way too fast. I'm trying real hard to remember
What's up, everybody?
all the good times and memories we had.
All right, everybody. Peace to you out there. This is the Information Man Show. Welcome. Welcome to the program. All right, everybody. Let me give everybody a clap that's coming to the chat room again. All right. Thank you. Everybody, I just want to make sure everybody realizes this, that I've been trying to come on early, folks. I had so many technical problems behind the scene. I mean, it's crazy. For those of you that are content creators out there, you know what I'm talking about. One minute it's the video that's not working right. Then all of a sudden the audio ain't working right. It's just one thing over the other just kept happening. But I was determined to go on live tonight and present this situation that all of you, I hope a lot of you have heard about this situation, but I'm going to give you a summary. And then I have the actual full footage of Brother Clyde Curry speaking. This is a brother from one of the parishes in Louisiana area, and he was a deputy sheriff. He released a video that was very, how can I say, revealing, to say the least, because he spoke of his frustration as a police officer, seeing racism. He was frustrated by some of the things that were happening behind the scenes, and how, and he talked about how there's people within the police department that are not going to like what he had to say. but they can't shame him because he was decorated. He was one of their most highly decorated officers in their police department. And he spoke of all the things that affected him. What happened to George Floyd with the knee on the neck, all the shootings of black men unarmed. He talked about how a lot of that really shook him. And he said that he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. Now, I'm going to go over something with you, but let me put a picture of this brother on the screen with me, right next to me. Okay. And this is the thing, folks. I know there's rumors out there. I'm going to do a test right here, and I hope people will come in the chat room as they can. How many of you out there honestly believe that Clyde Curry took his life? Because we know that depression is a serious problem in this country. Very serious problem. Let me read off some statistics for you just briefly and let you know my qualifications. I work in mental health. I deal with guys who take their life or attempt to take their life all the time. So we know the signs of someone that would commit suicide is there's mood swings, there's depression, there's the feeling of hopelessness that sets in, anger, stress, all these different things play a role, a change in something in their life. I know when I'm dealing with guys at work, we always look at these signs like if a person is giving away things, giving away all their personal items, almost as if they're ready to take off somewhere. So those are some of the symptoms that you will see with depression. And then for black men, I got to keep it 100% real and tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
The issues are even more compounded for us, for black people in general, because we're dealing with prejudice, racism. We're dealing with certain things in society that we have to deal with that other groups may not have to deal with when they go out into the world, particularly as a male, black male in particular. There's already the monkey on your back, or there's a stereotype of who you are. And even when you go into law enforcement, there's certain things you got to follow. I mean, people have said things like you got to follow the blue line and all these sort of things like that. So I'm going to play his video, but let me show you a few pictures of him with his family right here. And what I want to do is I want to put this back on here. Hang on for 1 minute. I'm going to put something back on here like so and let you see his family. Because when I played a full 17-minute tape or video for you, I want to put some perspective on this for everyone that's seeing this. And I want to say, let me say shout out to everybody out there in HAPS that are listening to me in HAPS right now. I know I was supposed to go on at 6, but like I said, I had some technical problems, so I'm on now. Let me say shout out to everybody that's listening to me right now. And Periscope, YouTube, of course, is my bread and butter. Everybody that's listening to this video, listening to me right now out there in Facebook and all the different areas that I have put my video into as far as social media. Thank you for watching. Make sure you do me the biggest favor and share this video. It's the way the channel grows. It's the way to get the word more out about this situation. So here you have Deputy Clyde Curry with his sons looking very happy. And what I do know is that you don't normally see suicide is happening within the black community. Suicide is occurring with black men. It is starting to take a rise, but it's not really our norm. That has not been our MO historically, to take our life. Depression hits you in so many ways, right? Stress. You see this young brother up here. He's looking stressed right there. He's depressed. This picture is of someone. And depression can hit you in different ways. When a person's depressed, they don't have to look like their head's automatically sinking. A person can be actually clinically depressed or depressed and can actually still go to work and say hi to you, but then you never know what's happening behind closed doors because people put on facades all the time. Okay. Now, like I'm going to say this again. The brother spoke out against law enforcement, and he was a law enforcement deputy. He had some frank things to say about some of the shenanigans and the racism and all the the bullshit that's been going on within these police departments. And he says he has seen it firsthand. So a part of me wonders if there could have been foul play in taking this man's life, because they said that he took his life by gunshot. And what I understand, being a mental health therapist myself, is that usually when men commit suicide and they have dark clouds over their head that is affecting them, okay? Usually when that happens to men tend to engage in violent behavior when they take their life. When it comes to females tend to engage in things like taking pills, doing things that are less lethal. Of course, there's occasions when you see women do things like cut their wrists or slit their wrists, things of that nature. But overall, for whatever the reasons are, men, when we take our lives, we do it in a very violent way using weapons and guns, and particularly really guns. Let me read something off to you all out there. When it comes to depression, suicide, okay, there's almost about 800,000 people that die due to suicide every year. Every 40 seconds, as I speak right now, every 40 seconds, somebody is taking their life out there by suicide. Okay, this is reality. These are facts. Now, in Western society, males die by suicide 3 to 4 times more often than women do. So 3 to 4 times more frequently, men will take their life by suicide in comparison to women. Okay. Now, the general population within our country, we have about 13 out of every 100,000 people in our society die by suicide every day in our general population. Okay. 13 out of 100,000 people will engage in suicidal acts where they actually go all the way through it and take their life. Then you have people who have what we call in the profession that I work in suicidal ideations, meaning they have thoughts of it, but they don't have the energy to act on it yet, but they have the ability. And sometimes when people have energy where they look like they're getting better, sometimes that's when they're even still at risk to do something to themselves because they've got the energy to do it. And part of engaging in suicide is getting the energy to actually do the act. Because depression keeps you downward, but depression opens the door to you to say, hey, I want to take my life. Life's not worth living. I'm not happy at all. And here comes the dark cloud coming over you once more. Okay. Now, this is what happens with police officers, as well as military people that are in the law enforcement and military. Oh, they have high numbers of taking their life all the time. Okay, due to the stress of the job and what have you. 17 out of 100,000 for police officers take their life. So it's 17. So in our society, when it comes to law enforcement, military, any job that you're working in stressfully, your suicide rates go up, ladies and gentlemen. Now with African Americans, because I'm going to do a video on this too, there is a correlation between racism in the society that we live in and our health. So everybody has risk for health issues, right? Heart hypertension. A lot of black men struggle with hypertension. You know, we struggle with our diets. Everyone struggles with their diets one way or another. If they're not on top of their diet, they do not have confidence in what they're doing with their diet and their exercise. But black people, what's unique about us other than other groups is that we uniquely have to also deal with the stressors of racism and societal issues. And our comorbidities are even worse when we have less access to health. And then you couple that with being an officer, being in a police department where you're supposed to follow the blue line. Then on top of that, being a black man who's trying to fit into a system that really, to be honest with you, it may be a system that you may have probably never got yourself involved in, because it's a system that many of us think that when we get into it, that we can change it somehow when we can't. And what I saw in that brother's video is that you could tell that he was at his wits. He was burned. Looked like he was getting burned out, or he was burned out, that he was feeling hopeless. And that's one of the key components to someone leading to suicide. Now, this is what I'm laying out to you all, just as the basic criteria for suicide. Okay, once again, you have mood swings, you have changes in your routine. If a person has changes in their routine, you've got depression, stress, hopelessness. Okay, is the person involving themselves in drugs and alcohol use? Okay, change in sleeping patterns. You can't sleep, you're twisting and turning, you constantly can't think and focus. You have less energy for basic activities such as exercise and things that you used to do, which would fall into routines. Let me put something on the screen here. I want to show you the difference. Now, I said earlier that a part of me, and I know there's black folks out there, there's people out there that are saying that maybe this brother didn't take his life. Maybe this was foul play because the brother stood up and he spoke out. And a part of me wants to believe that. A part of me feels that that's what it could be, because particularly in the black community, we don't have high numbers we don't have a pattern of taking our life by suicide, like hanging ourselves, shooting ourselves. It does happen, but it ain't really us. Now on this chart, the AN is for Native Americans or Alaskan natives. Okay. So on the left side is females. So where you have the light blue to the left side of this chart is females. To the right side where you have dark blue is males, ladies and gentlemen. You hear me? Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Okay. So within Native American, non-Hispanic Native American culture, they're at 11.0% in suicide rates, and the men are at 33.6% suicide rates. So within Native American culture, it's very high. If you ever been to a reservation, you have high levels of drug and alcohol use on some of these reservations. Unfortunately, of course, this government put them on the worst type of land. At Andrew Jackson, that son of a you-know-what, during the Trail of Tears, he moved Native people in the the western, southwestern part of this country and put them on some of the worst real estate, worst land that you ever want to know, which, by the way, the land was stolen. And let me also say this too. A lot of these Native people were also people that we would classify today as black, because in this country, I believe it was in Virginia, they actually reclassified black people who were actually natives. I'm going to get into that little bit of history in a later, and I do mean a later video, to get deeper into the reclassification. But I want to stay on topic here. So you have, and I think someone super chatted me, and that was my man Cap PY2. Glad to see you here, brother. I will give you the super chat celebration in a moment. I want to stay on point here. So when you look at whites, Hispanics, 2.8% females, 11.9% white Hispanic males, right? Black non-Hispanic females are only at 2.8% engaging in suicide. When it comes to black males, non-Hispanic black males, it's 11.3%. So if you notice on the chart, we are still below what white males do at 11.9%, 11.3%. So black males are engaging in suicide, but we're not at the same high numbers that you would see with Native Americans or white non-Hispanic. White non-Hispanic is 28.2%. So white men who are non-Hispanic have the highest levels of suicide. White males engage in suicide at a higher level, 28.2%. And then white Hispanic men, that means Spanish or something like that, they're at 11.9%. Black males are 11.3%. Black males that are non-Hispanic. Now, when you look at Asian, Pacific Islanders, they're at 9.9%. And their women, the women are at 3.9%. The men are at 9.9%. Okay. When you look at those that are black, because we do have black people in South America, black people from Cuba, things of that nature, black Hispanic females are at 1% engaging in suicide, where Black Hispanic males are at 5.2% in engaging in suicide. So that would be someone, like I said, someone that's a black Hispanic man from Colombia, let's say, brothers and sisters in Brazil, something of that nature. Let me see. That's what we would call Latin America. Then we have Asian Pacific Islander Hispanics at 1.7%, that's for females, and 4.7% for Asian Pacific Islander Hispanics. And then at the very bottom is just Hispanic people who are both mixed with Native American, and plus they have Mexican heritage or some Hispanic type heritage. They're at 0.5% for their women, 3.0% for males. So even though black males are still a little bit up here, we still are not as high as other groups in this country. There are other groups below us that are not, but these other groups that are below us, they don't have the numbers that we have in this country. They don't have our numbers. I think black people are about 13% of the population. So when it comes to Native Americans who have literally been wiped out due to a lot of reasons that we know of, such as being just killed and misguarded, they don't have the numbers. So just think about the numbers in this as well. So that's the situation I wanted to bring to bear with everybody with those numbers. So this is the brother right here who I do believe when he was doing the video that he was depressed. It was obvious to me that he was depressed by the way he was speaking. His passion for what was happening was clearly there. And I clearly thought that the brother, I didn't think that the brother would take his life, but that I'm going to say again, for the record, we don't really know if there was foul play or not. I'm going to say to a part of me is thinking that it's foul play. And a part of me is saying, yeah, it could be suicide, because you just never know what's going on with people mentally and spiritually and emotionally. But a part of me can't help to think that could there have been foul play? And you tell me in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen, do you think there was foul play with brother Clyde Curry taking his life by gun, as they're saying? Put a 1 if you think there was foul play in the chat room. Put a 2 in the chat room if you don't think there was foul play, that he actually did it. And put a 3 in the chat room, in all chat rooms that are listening to me, if you're just not sure. A part of me is wondering, because this isn't a behavior that you often hear that black male or black people engage in, but it is happening. And we do see there is an increase, as you can see, 11.9%. There is an increase in black males in particular engaging in this behavior, in this kind of behavior in terms of taking their life. And as you saw on the chart, black women are at 2.8%. Let me put that back up there again. Black non-Hispanic women are at 2.8%, and even black women that are Hispanic and black, which, Cuban, black people are in Panama. We got black folks all over the diaspora. Black Hispanic women are only 1.0%, and the black Hispanic men are at 5.2%. In America, not America, but black males black people that are just considered classified as black is 11.3%. Let me say that to be correct. Okay. So I have to lay out these numbers. I do have to keep in mind that because he was an officer and he was also in the military, there is a high threshold for police officers and military personnel to engage in suicide rates. Everyone in law enforcement across the board, ladies and gentlemen, have high risk for suicidal ideations and in suicidal behavior. Usually when someone's like this, you want to get them before they're in crisis. You want to get them before they escalate. You don't want them to escalate and go into crisis phase. You want to de-escalate them. That's why it's important to get them with someone on suicide talk lines where you can have a counselor talk to them. Usually at work, when I'm at work, we sometimes have to strip guys out and put them in what we call smocks for their own protection so that they don't do something to themselves. We have to strip them out, take things away from them, take sharps away from them, things that they can use to harm themselves, because I deal with it firsthand where I've seen guys say, I'm going to take my life. And I personally can go to work at any time and be literally talking a guy out of doing something to himself. So this is a very real problem. I don't want to minimize it, although a part of me feels that the brother, that could have been foul play, but we don't know because there got to be further investigation. And the reason why I feel this way is because he spoke out against law enforcement. He really spilled the nasty beans that a lot of people don't want to deal with. And another reason why I'm skeptical is because he's on this picture with his family looking happy. And I'm thinking to myself, a black man who's strong enough to get on video and speak his mind, why would he want to leave his family, leave like this when he was so strong to speak out? But then another part of me knows, ladies and gentlemen, another part of me knows that sometimes looks can be deceiving. A person can be in a picture looking happy, and that picture, I don't know when this picture was taken. This picture could have been taken a year ago, 2 years ago, when he could have been a much happier man. So you can't always use pictures, and because people have a smile on their face, to determine that they're not depressed or that they're not at a risk to take their life, because they could have been at a better time in their life. And people can put on facades that appear as if they are doing fine when they're not doing fine. So we got to keep that in mind as well. So what I want to do is I want to quickly go into the, let me show another picture of him with he has a good smile right here. But once again, that doesn't always mean. Looks can be deceiving when it comes to depression, mental health issues, emotional issues, and feeling hopeless, and also feeling you have your back against the wall. This is not the first time we've seen this, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen other black men in law enforcement who just said they couldn't take it anymore, and then they speak out or they do something. So it tells me that one of the variables, if he did take his life, and it comes out that it is a fact that he took his life with his own gun, one of the variables that I think to him taking his life is the fact that he was involved in law enforcement in the military, and he said he saw all this racism that he had to deal with as an officer, stuff that he was sick of. So let's get to the video right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you can hear me. Peace to everybody in the chat room in HAPS. I want to thank you for being here. We've got a lot of great folks in HAPS, and I'm gonna there's some folks in HAPS that I'm gonna mod up. We got my man Ted Hicks over here. Peace to you. And Ted Hicks says PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Right. And then we've got Yolanda, who says hello from Tallahassee. Okay, thank you. And we got hello from St. John's. And we got Nadia. I've been watching this sister over here on HAP. She's got a great channel. You were talking about health today, and I was blown away. Then we got my man Mike Patton in the house. Thank you for being here. And some of these folks I got to mod up in HAPS, and I'll just go back and look them up later and mod you up on the channel. And people are coming in a little bit of time over in the HAPS chat room. I'm broadcasting into HAPS, into Facebook tonight, ladies and gentlemen, all the way into Periscope, ladies and gentlemen, into YouTube. I'm all over the live streaming sphere tonight. So let me go back over here and let's get to the video. And the video is 17 minutes. I want everybody in the chat room to really listen to what this brother is saying. If you have not seen this video, if you've seen it already, it's just going to be a refresher. Listen to what he's saying, because I want you to write in the chat room what your honest thoughts are. Okay, I gave you my analysis based on my professional background of what I think could be happening. I'm kind of split, I'm kind of split between, did he do this or was it foul play because the brother spoke out? And it's hard when you see that he had two sons, and I don't know too many black men they're going to take their life and leave two sons behind in a family. I don't know those black men. Are they out there when they're depressed and down? Yes. Hopelessness and feeling that you can't change the world, that everything's coming down on you. Yes. There's people who lose it, and everything is compounding on them. And any of us can be a victim of having a mental health crisis or a emotional breakdown. Any of us are subject to it. Any of us, because we all have different, what they call temperaments. We're all born with a different temperament, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and play this video, and I hope this is tough for me, because when I watched this myself personally, I was just like, man, this brother was saying so many things that were true, that were factual, things that we have said many times as a people. And then when I found out that he took his life, I was like, whoa. But he left us some insight into what's really happening in this country when it comes to law enforcement and how they engage with black males, black people in this country. And I just got to keep it real and tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, about 17-minute video.
I've had enough of all of this nonsense of serving a system that does not give a damn about me or people like me, or I mean, just about life in general. And this is my statement. If this isn't something to state that this killing that's going on, especially by the police, which I am, I can't abide by this no more. I'm not having anything to do with this nonsense anymore. Call me what you want, try to discredit me. I have been a stellar deputy in this 5+ years that I've been there. My last eval's been sent. It's copied to somebody. I can't be discredited. Never so much as one write-up for maybe some reports being late. None whatsoever. So it can't be said that I was a shammer or anything like that, or I wasn't pulling my weight. And just for contextual purposes, I just want y'all to understand where and what I'm coming from. My entire life has been in service of other people. And it's just dawned on me that this time, as of now, needs to be seized, because you don't really give a damn about us. That is the truth. That is the truth. I've served with a full heart in the military. After that, got back into law enforcement, and you have no idea how hard it is to put a uniform on in this day and age with everything that's going on. None. And listen, y'all entrust me to safeguard your little ones, your small ones, the thing that's most precious to y'all, and I did that well. Y'all trust me with that. I've had security clearance in the military. That's verifiable. If I was untrustworthy, if I was a threat, would they let me guard the U.S. Embassy in Kabul? Which I did. I trained Iraqi police, Afghan national police, and that's not it. But I wouldn't have been put in a position of that if they thought I was a threat. But that has allowed me to see the inner working of things, and this is a demonic system, and it's not anything I can continue to serve and want to be a part of. And this is not right. This is no form of justice. Let's go down the list. Both of them shot in his own apartment. How that work? How does that work? Chilling on his couch. I don't give a damn if he had weed in the apartment. You're gonna execute somebody for that? Oh no, y'all are good for that. You break up families for a plant, this war on drugs and this nonsense. But now it's starting to get legal because big pharmaceutical companies stand to make billions off of it, and they paid off the lobbyists, who in turn have started ushering the way it needs to go for them. The countless people who are doing time behind that. How do you even make amends for that? You can't. You can't. This Floyd, man, Brianna, this shit is not right. I'm telling you, it's not. If this feels right to you as a person, there's something is wrong with you. This is the furthest thing from right. This is the manner of wickedness that bro. And you're getting away with it. When is enough going to be enough for people? Huh? Seriously. Y'all are radicalizing people, and then when they buck and they want to go against the system because it's not for them, you come down on them with a hammer. I don't understand this. I do not understand this. It's getting to the point now, let me tell y'all something. Again, I'm gonna go back into it. I'm gonna be wrapping up pretty soon. None of this is happenstance. Do you understand me? None of this is happenstance at all. If you think it's possible that all of this is happenstance with everything that's happened in this immediate area, no. Coloring? I don't know all the inner workings of that, but between that and just, man. Listen, I understand we have a tough job, but we signed up for this. We need help. Because we deal with the bottom rung of society. It does not give us an excuse to just do whatever we want, and that's what we're doing, and we're not being held accountable. And it's just allowed. Not per se in the environment that I'm in, because, I don't do normal police work anymore, but I've done it. Look, I was on duty the night Middlebrook got killed. That's hard enough to process when you hear that call come out. I was posted up in front of Troop I, setting up a perimeter, and then they called him. Went back to my normal zone, which was south, Youngsville Highway, see the vehicles going by, about to make that notification. Get another call, another murder. All the stuff that took place that night, the guys who were south with me, we got a letter of recognition because we did our job. That was just one night for us. Police officers need mental help, because you can't tell me what happened in Milwaukee, that should have been caught. The dude was like an automaton. He didn't have any, it was just completely apathetic. That should have got caught. That is a failure of leadership. It is a systemic thing. Look at it like this. He was the senior most person there, okay? The freshest person there, the rookie, he was like 2 weeks out of FTO. He's not going to check somebody that's got 10 plus years and say something. He thinks it's the norm. He's just going to go along with it. And that is the indoctrination and everything. It hasn't happened here. It hasn't been around me. But I see how it happens. So all this code of blue silence, no, sorry. I'm going to be on the right side of this one. And I would rather be considered crazy and whatever they were going to say about me, he was under the influence of something. No, that is an easy cop-out just to say that I am. Because that will then allow a dialogue not to be started. It needs to be talked about. This is insane, about to go off the rails. And I'm not doing it anymore. Loved my job. Loved it. Loved every aspect of it. Finally found something I could call my own and made it my own. And, but this is bigger than that. And I'm not gonna do that. There's no way I can just be like, oh, okay, it's no big deal. No, this is a very big deal to me. This is a tipping point. And just to continue to think that we can just do what we've been doing and just hit the status quo like that, and people, no whatsoever. This is wrong. It needs to be resisted against, and you have an obligation and a duty to do that. Because if not, you're complacent. But I would be complacent if I continue just doing what I am doing and not saying anything. I'm trying to bring things to people's attention, little small things, but it's a system, and I'm a small cog in this whole big machine. But I'm jumping off. No. Come with me. I don't know. I ain't gonna be around for that. That is on y'all. But I can tell you this. There's more good people than bad. Y'all need to figure that shit out real quick, because it's the truth. It is the absolute truth. And if y'all ain't got each other's back, then they're going to continue to divide and conquer and just sow dissension and everything between people who are actually probably make a be out a good ally. But this whole system, this thing that was built on free slave labor, and there's no way this can't implode on itself. We can't continue on. You won't even give us reparations. That's the thing about it. Y'all thinking about money. It's about being decent. And people are so busy calling themselves Republicans and Democrats, they don't even just be a decent person anymore. That is sad. This is a sad state of affairs. We're leaving our children, and we're wondering why they're wilding out, trying to have augmentation and reassignments at 7, 8 years old. This is preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. And y'all letting them do it like it's cool. Because you want to be able to get away with yourself, like, oh, well, they're doing that. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. So, with that said, no sense in griping unless you actually have some things that you can think that they could probably be fixed. There needs to be more civilian oversight, like an advisory committee. I think they need to have term limits, whether they be appointed or elected, a certain amount of hours for being in a ride-along required, scenario familiarization, put them through scenarios, because the general public doesn't know what we go through. This is it. That night I described to you, that was a bad night for me. That was a bad night for me, just to carry on this. But I processed it. Police officers are exposed to the debris in the bottom rung of society, and then they're expected to keep a stiff chin. It's not affecting them. It is affecting your psyche. I'm telling you it is. You cannot be exposed to that and not expect it to manifest itself in some way. Nobody calls the police when they're having a good day. It's the truth, right? Domestics got robbed, something like that. Something you need somebody in a uniform. Your bad day, that might be the first call on my shift that I'm about to have another maybe half a dozen of those. And I'm lucky if they're not as severe as this one. It might be worse. Anyway, so I think it needs to be, along with this committee, they need to have standardized training, whether that be an abbreviated type of academy, but they need to be familiar with procedures. And they need to be familiar with statutes as per a specific state. But this is what I'm saying, this needs to happen. It needs to almost be based like how everybody was doing their own thing for training before the San Jose model came out. It needs to be structured like that, and it needs to be recognized accordingly, across the board. Mental health and wellness, they definitely need that. Look, we need, I don't know how you're gonna do it. We get people get one psyche valve or just checkup, and that's in the hiring process. And some people have squeaked through, because I know some cops that should not be cops, honestly. I don't think they have the makeup for it. And you're gonna say, oh, he did. No, this not even night and day. Whether it be, I don't think annual is good, because a lot can happen a year, whether it be semi-annual or quarterly. It needs to happen. And it's in the stigma that is surrounding it needs to be lifted too, because that is insane. We need help. People need help. It's okay to say you need help. You get exposed to a lot going through life. But only life matters. That's it. You get exposed to a lot. I understand it. I've been exposed to a lot. Peer evaluations, and that's not something as far as the along the lines of trying to be vindictive, but kind of the maybe anonymous red card, blue card thing like we had in
tell the truth.
The section. More transparency. I understand certain things can't be divulged, but the public doesn't trust us. We are losing the public's trust. We are losing the public's trust. We serve at the pleasure of the public. You lose that, you lose your right and authority to govern. And that is happening. You can't do wicked stuff and you be like, okay, well, cool, we're just doing our jobs. Who are you doing your job for? That's not doing your job. That's a cop-out. That is a cop-out. This is something for me, I thought would be better just to add in development and expansion of like an Explorer type program. And I know they've had it before, but kids say they want to be cops, but I mean, we're not giving them a reason to, do it. And we need to foster more mentorship. And it needs to be like more of some kind of a program to help kids stay on a scare straight. Let's bring that back. Let them see what it's like. But also give them a healthy option. Just get them out and just like get them out of their normal hoods or whatever it is. They don't know what else is out there. What we're showing them is the only option we're giving. And then what do you expect? Listen, I'm wrapping it up because I've rambled way too long. Didn't even touch on half the stuff I wanted to, but yeah, this needs to stop. This needs to stop. This is not protesting against police brutality and everything else that comes along with it in this broken, wicked, worldly system that does not give a damn about people. I don't know what it cares about, but it don't care about us. It truly don't. It does not. It does not. So I hope y'all do something with that. And let it not have, there's no way that this and the people who have been in touch with me this past week and all this stuff, it has been confirmation that this is, it can't. There's no other way that this is possibly supposed to not happen. It is. It was preordained for this to happen. Regardless of what you may think, and that's on you. I know what I gotta do. Search your heart, find out what you gotta do. Everybody has a different role to play. This part, this one, this is mine.
Information is power. Information is power. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel. Information is power.
Okay, everybody. Peace to everybody in the chat room. Let me give a few some love to folks in the chat room. I hope you all, for some of you who, if you haven't seen the video, I hope you got something out of the video. I thought he made some very good points. Once again, I'm not really certain whether the brother took his life or there was foul play, although I did explain to you how mental health works, how people that you think wouldn't harm themselves would take their life. I'll give you a personal story, since I'm giving personal stories now. I gave a personal story the other night on here. When I lived in San Francisco, and I think I was in high school, maybe a freshman in college, and there was a black man who lived right next to where my family lived. He had about 8, 9 daughters. He had a wife. He worked for the city. He had a good job. Every day you would see him outside sweeping, cleaning things up. He was very neighborly. Good morning, good afternoon, the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. There was nothing about him that looked like he was depressed or whatever. Nothing about him. He had beautiful daughters. I got to know some of them, and they used to knock on my door and borrow, basketballs and equipment because they were just in the neighborhood. And so he knew me by name, basis, and the whole 9 yards. I used to knock on his door, he would borrow stuff like that. And one day I think I came home from school. I think I was either in college, freshman year in college, or And then my mom told me, she said, let me set you down. We got something to tell you. I said, well, what's going on? Well, you know, our neighbor next door over here. Yeah. Nice guy, you know, good family and everything like that. He's always neighborly, you know, he always says hi. Brother always speaks, always looking out for people in the neighborhood. Well, I come home and my family tells me that this man came home and he took the life of his family and took his own life. So you never know what's going on with people. Only 3 of the daughters survived because they were older and they hadn't been home yet. And I said to myself, how could this happen? This guy seemed normal. And I used to knock on the door. And the first thing that came to my mind, ladies and gentlemen,
tell the truth,
is that what if that might have been the day that I had knocked on his door when he was doing whatever he was doing horribly in the household? And I knocked on the door and boom, he could have took me too, depending on what was going on. I don't know what was going on. To this very day, I still don't know what drove him to do it. Well, when I go into the profession of mental health, only thing I can say is he might have had some depression. He might have been having some anger. Maybe his wife was leaving him and he said, if I can't have you, nobody else can have you. Took his life. Then after he took their life, he took his life. So I didn't know what was going on. There's all kind of things you can speculate that was happening, but he did not present in public like a guy that would do that to his family. So there was obviously something going on up in the dome and something going on up in that household that nobody knows. Okay. So that's a personal story, something that I experienced growing up. Because I bring that up as anecdotal because we don't know what's going through the minds of people. And then at the same time, we live in a wicked Luciferian Babylonian society where one could have their life taken away if they're talking too much, if they are exposing a system from the inside out. And we know through historical history, whenever black men have been dared to speak out against a system that they've either been a part of or they're trying to get out of, we know through history that they have ways of shutting our mouths up permanently. So I'm on a balancing scale of trying to figure out, did he do this? Did he not do this? Did he do that? But because of my professional background, a part of me realizes that there's that he very well did this, because you just never know what people are going through. Let me know if you can hear me, if everything's coming out clearly. I think I had Cap that super chatted me. Let me also look over in the HAPS chat right now and see what's going on over there. Once again, I'm broadcasting in multiple places. I'm on HAPS. I'm on Facebook, on my Facebook page. I'm on YouTube, of course, Periscope. I'm broadcasting into Twitter as well. And we've got about 67 people watching over in the HAPS chat, in the HAPS right now, because I'm broadcasting through HAPS. We got about 48 folks watching over in YouTube, and we got 67 strong over in HAPS and 48 strong. And I got people watching me probably on Facebook. So people are watching, because my whole thing is, don't limit yourself to just one platform. Expand your voice into many platforms, because you get different audiences in different places. Some audience don't want to be in YouTube. They want to be on Facebook. Some audience want to be on other platforms that they enjoy. I've got people watching me over here in Periscope too. Peace to those out there in Periscope. So my audience is out there. And I appreciate everybody that's listening. We got Yonda, who a sister in the HAPS chat, in my chat room, who's been saying some great words. And sister, I think you were saying that I was having some problems, and I was trying to tell you that I have no problems over here. There's no problem with the video, no nothing. It could be something going on with your Wi-Fi or your computer or your phone. I don't know, but everything's coming through nice and clear. And I thank you for all your statements in the chat room. She says, most often officers cannot speak out for fear of their lives and harm to their family. Yes, because it's like a fraternity. You join something and you can't speak out against that. And when you speak out against that, and when you are when you're a black person and you're in law enforcement, there's certain things that you can't do often. And I'm going to keep it 100% real tonight. There are black officers in law enforcement that are just as bad as white officers who treat black people poorly. There are black officers that will treat us bad, just as bad if they are a bad officer. Oh, yes, they are out there. That is facts. We heard Denzel Washington say, and I did a video on my second channel, the podcast channel. Check it out. We heard Denzel Washington says he didn't respect people who talk bad about cops and in the military. And if it wasn't for cops, we wouldn't have freedom of speech. Denzel, we're talking about, as I said on my second channel, on my podcast channel, we're talking about cops that do dirty things like the cop you played in the movie Training Day, Denzel. We're not talking about the quote unquote good cops who are there to serve and protect and are not trying to harass people. We're talking about the bad cops, Denzel. And, you know, a lot of these celebrities, they don't live in the real world anyway because they get special treatment. As Denzel Washington said, he's making a movie. He was observing the cops trying to bring someone down from shooting or whatever, and they handled it professionally. Yeah, they did handle it professionally, Denzel, because they had you in a car as a celebrity that could watch what they're doing, and you have clout, and you could report the things that you saw that was not looking too professional. Gotta understand that. Peace to everybody out there in YouTube and Haps, everybody that's watching. I appreciate that. So we got somebody coming in through the Twitter over here. We got some Facebook folks coming in. I appreciate you coming in to the Haps chat room. And let me go look at my bread and butter over here. Been my bread and butter for a long time now. And that's the beautiful people. Let me give a clap to everybody tonight. Because everybody that's watching and listening, you deserve a clap for being here tonight. And I appreciate that. So here we go.
Information is power.
All right. So let's see what's going on in the YouTube streets right now. We got Omega Courtney in the house. Peace to you. Rob Allbanks, Cap, PY2. I haven't forgotten that super chat. And everybody else that super chatted me over here in YouTube. We got Tiffany Jackson, Peggy Roster's come in the house. We've got Mr. Pirate Brain is in the house. The MZTR is in the house. And I think Super Sly 75 paid me a visit tonight. Appreciate that visit you paid me tonight, brother. I modded you up as well. We got a view who said earlier that she was glad that someone was talking about this issue. I appreciate that. We got my man Gregory X who super chatted me. He says our celebrities have essentially become disconnected from Black society. We must be I can't make that out. He says so yeah, look. I understand reciprocal. I understand, brother, that you know, a lot of our celebrities, they live in a different world because when they go out, they're used to people asking for their autograph and treating them well and opening up the door for them and taking the bill for them, right? Saying, you don't have to pay that. We'll take care of it, sir. They're used to people using them because they want to be next to them. They want the marketing. Now we got back to the basics who just super chatted me $10, and I appreciate that from you, sister. Omega Courtney is in the house. We got brother DOD in the house. Let me see who else. There's some people I missed. We got Natural in the house. We got Beverly in the house. Peace to you. You've definitely been supporting me. Yolanda Cooper has come in the house. I came to YouTube. Haps kept glitching. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Haps because I'm looking at Haps on my own computer and I don't see any glitching. So what I could say is, that's why I'm saying, my dear sister, there could be a chance that there could be something going on with your connection. I don't know. I'm looking at my Haps video I'm looking at it right now and I don't see any glitching. And we're going 70 strong right now over in HAPS right now. 70 strong is the crowd over there watching the program. Let me get back over here and see what's going on. I've got a let me see right here, folks. There we go. We got Yolanda who's coming to the house. So everybody say peace to her. She came over from HAPS to because she's having some technical problems, or she's saying there's something glitching. I don't see anything glitching. Then we got B1 for life in the house, is in the house. Let me see. Cap said that the black officers are blue blind with thinking they will receive the same punishment as that of the counterparts. Good points, Cap. I gotta be honest. You're making good points, brother. Let me see. Tiffany Jackson's in the house. Xander is in the house. Miss Fed X is in the house as well. We got CJ Spicy saying hello. And let me go ahead and do something else. Let me see. What else did I want to do? So let me go back in here. Okay, so we're back. Let me get these super chats going. And let's get the super chat music going, because we had some folks that came in, super chatted, and I want to give them that super chat celebration that I always do. And here we go, folks. Super chat. Thank you for the super chat, everybody.
Tell them run it on. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. 9 out of 10, roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'll make me great. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip, this tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip, this tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. Gonna make me take that trip way out to you.
Thank you for the super chat. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
All right, everybody. Thank you. All of you out there that super chatted me tonight. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but I was in the middle of my dialogue and trying to get to the point. Now, once again, after everybody watched the video of the brother speaking, what is your honest thoughts? Let's take another vote. Do you believe that the brother just went ahead and committed suicide and he did it by gun? And I told you earlier that statistically men, when they do suicide, they do tend to do it violently by gun. When women engage in suicide, it's usually by dropping pills, a light slit to the wrist, or something of that nature, something that's a little less lethal in comparison to shooting yourself with a gun. So that's what they're saying that he did. We also saw the pictures again. Let me show some pictures again of him with his family. And as I said before, depression can hit you in so many ways. Okay, we have so many stressors: money stressors, relationship stressors, work stressors, societal stressors, health stressors, so many things that can put dark clouds over our head and make us wonder whether we want to live, if life is worth living when you're dealing with all these type of stressors, as well as some of the prejudices that goes on in this society. And so here the brother is again. Here he is with his family. Okay. He had 2 sons. To me, this picture right here makes me think automatically, as I said to you before, there's no way that he would take his life. There's no way that he would do this, because look at his sons. He has two sons to raise, to build into manhood. And you would say that no father would do this and leave his sons behind. And that makes me think, and then on top of that, we just don't have high numbers. We don't lead in suicide within our community, and particularly men. Black males that are non-Hispanic are at 11.3%. White males are at 28%. Let me put this back up here to get those percentages right. So white males are at 28.2%. White non-Hispanic females are at 7.9% when they commit a suicide. The left side, which is light blue, is for females. The right side, which is dark, for males. And as I said before, the people who lead, especially men, are the Native Americans / Alaskan natives at 33.6%. And I have to emphasize this: Black Hispanics, females, and Black Hispanic men, very low, 5.2% for the men, only 1.0% for the females. White females are at 7.9%. So out of all the people, as far as race is concerned, suicide rates by race per 100,000 people per day, white society leads in these areas, or actually they're second to Native Americans. Let me correct myself. Second to Native Americans. And then white Hispanics are next in that category. And then blacks, non-Hispanic, are one step below at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still below many other groups. And remember, you have to think about the population. We're 13% of the population. Native Americans' suicide rate is very high, but they don't have the population. And even the Pacific Islanders, other people at the bottom charts where it's very low. Asian Pacific, Hispanic, and all those are very low populations, and they also have low rates of suicide. And also we have to also look at culture too. Okay, culture plays a role in this. There are some cultures, and I know this for a fact because of the kind of work that I do. There are some cultures culturally where it is a sin to take your life. If you're Catholic, of the Catholic faith, or a particular culture, they don't look very kindly on the ideology of on the action of taking one's life. So that's another thing that people struggle with when they're depressed and they're feeling suicidal, is that if they're of that culture, that's another thing that they struggle and they fight with many times, that if I do this, I won't go to, quote unquote, go to heaven. If I do this, my soul will be lost and it won't get to heaven. It can't get anywhere. So there are people who also believe that culturally and religiously when it comes to doing things of this, taking your life. So that's something we have to look at. So once again, after seeing the video, hearing what that brother said, one, do you believe that he took his life in the way that they're saying he did? Two, do you believe maybe there was some foul play? And I mean, that's two. And three, are you just not sure? Let's get the tally right now. I'm just very curious to see what folks are thinking in the chat room. Peace to everybody in Haps, hanging in there strong. We're at 49 strong over in YouTube. We're 75 strong over in Haps right now. We're doing good tonight. And we got my man, Male of Vices, in the house. Back to the basics, Peggy Roster. And let's see what people are saying in the chat room. Let me see. Someone in Facebook said, "Black is the vision, my brother." And then Yonda Cooper, Miss Cooper, super hearted me, and I appreciate that. Let me put you on the screen for super hearting me. I think it won't let me put the super heart in the screen. Yeah, it won't let me do that, but it'll let me put your answer. It'll let me put those answers like that. So let me look at that. Okay, let's look at what's going on in YouTube. We got Purple Paisley is in the house. Good to see you here, sister. We got Deborah Catch by Faith. I'm just coming in, was in the military. If so, I believe it was. She believes that he was. Murder is a legal term, but she believes that it was foul play. Let me see. The bake dump Rose says 2, believes it was foul play. Purple Paisley believes it was foul play. We got Patience in the house saying she's not sure. We got Mr. Pirate Brain says 2. He believes it's foul play. Mr. Mel Advice says 3. He's just not sure. Tiffany Jackson says 1. She believes it was actual traditional suicide. We've got Beverly, who says 2. She believes it was foul play. Peggy Rosser says he made a awareness. He made an awareness speak. No, he was too intelligent to fake his life. So basically what Peggy Rosser is saying, because I can't make out that too well. She's basically saying that she believes that he was too intelligent in the way he was speaking to get to the level that he would do that. And all I would say to that is that that's true, but at the same time, there are a lot of people that are intelligent that will can take their life. Okay. Who was that comedian that took his life? And we thought he had everything going. Robin Williams. I've seen Robin Williams before living in San Francisco. I've met him before. When I was in high school, when I was in college, I worked at a movie theater. He used to come to the movie theater with his family all the time. He looked happy. He was playful with his kids, the whole 9 yards, but you just never know what's going on behind closed doors and what's going on mentally with people. But intelligent, yes, the brother was. I would agree with that. Rob Allbank says, I don't know, so I can't really say. Miss FedEx says, I just don't think this was a suicide. 100%, that's what she's saying. And then Mr. Miller Vice says, peace, my brother. Tiffany Jackson says, I believe his life was taken from him. He was speaking truth, and we know those in power don't like the truth.
Tell the truth.
Interesting. Now over in Haps, we've got how you doing? Rodman H. I'm doing fine. Thank you for coming over. Any of you over in all 76 of you that are watching over in Haps right now, do me the favor. I know hopefully you subscribe to me on Haps, and come on over to the YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. It's Information Man Show, just what you see on the screen. So we got a nice crowd tonight in all the different platforms, and I love it like that because it's fun. It's wonderful when you can get your point of views and get your content out to as many people who like to use different types of platform. I love it. Let me say peace to everybody out there in Facebook that's watching. Let me say peace to everybody out there that's watching in Periscope, Twitter, everybody on YouTube once more. Here goes once again another clap for you. And here we go. Okay. So we got here foreplay, not sure. Okay, so people in the Haps chat room are saying they're not sure. Let me see. Someone, King says, tell it like it is, brother. I feel you. Thank you, King. Thank you. People are fake. Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And I want to say once again to Miss Cooper, thank you for the super heart that you gave me. Folks, what you see on the top of the screen, for those of you that are watching me on the other platforms in YouTube, is that when people give me any kind of donation or anything of that nature and sponsorship, they call it sponsorship on Haps. The sponsorship is shown on top of the screen above my head, as you can see. In YouTube, when people give you a super chat, you see it in the chat room. And if I was using StreamYards, I could put the messaging on the screen so that you can see what people are saying and what they're doing as far as super chat. So I appreciate everybody once more who have come out and support the channel tonight. Let me see. We've got Raw B says, hello, everyone. Raw B's come in the house. Raw B, I want to know what and thank you, Raw B, for putting, just in case too, somebody in the chat room, if you can, and you can get it off my channel page, off my Information Man Show channel page, drop my second channel in the chat room, the Information Man Speaks podcast. Any of you who have not subscribed to that channel, go over there and subscribe to that channel. And you can find, you don't even have to go over there. You can just scroll down the channel page of Information Man Show, and you'll see the link or the subscribe link to the second channel. Go ahead and do that, because I'm doing interesting commentary over there on that channel. And what's great about that is I'm going live over there every other night, if not every night, or if I don't go live, I drop a pre-produced video for you. So definitely go over there and check that out. And of course, you all know, let me put this on the screen real quick. You all know that I do traditional podcasts as well. Let me put that on the screen. Let me see right here. And there we go. That's traditional podcasting platforms right there. We've got, let me put this off of here. We've got Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio Podcasts, TuneIn. I'm on SoundCloud, Castbox. You put my name in, Information Man Speaks Podcast, and you'll find me on all over the traditional podcasting platforms. And that's for sure. No doubt about that. Now let's get back over here. And let me see, let's put this right back where it needs to be. Bam. Like so. And let's go back into the chat room here. Thank you for dropping that, Raw B. Raw B, let me say something to you right now, sister. I got a chance to see your video on the other video platform that you're using. And I think you're 100% right. YouTube plays a lot of games. They put her channel on suspension for her doing commentary on something that happened to someone. I think someone lost their life. But yet on YouTube, you've got videos on YouTube where you're seeing sexual stuff. There was a video that she showed on YouTube where a doctor or something was examining a woman's private area, and you could see everything. This is on YouTube. And yet YouTube tells us all the time that we got to play by their policies, and you got channels and videos on YouTube that break all the policies. And yet this sister didn't do a video that was on that kind of level of sexual explicit stuff like that, and they put her on a suspension. So they're not consistent with their policies depending on the channels and how much money you're making them. It's really crazy. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
So Raw B, thank you. And Raw B, this is what we're going to do, sister. I need to set up an interview. I know I've been wanting to interview you, so now it's time to do it. I got to set up an interview with you so that we can have the conversation about what happened to you on your channel and some of these goofy things that YouTube does to content creators who are following rules. So we got to have that conversation. We need to hear your story further, because I had a video taken down once before, and it was crazy. It's really crazy. We got my man Kendrick that's come in the house. Peace to you, brother, for coming in. We've got 49 strong, almost 50. Make sure you hit the likes too, folks. Almost 50 people strong over in the YouTube streets. And then we're about 85 strong. We're 85 strong. This is wonderful. We're 85 strong over in HAPS, and we're 50 strong over in YouTube right now. Wonderful. And I want to say once again to everybody that's listening to me on HAPS, Facebook, Periscope, wherever you are listening, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my videos, hear my rhetoric, the whole 9 yards, folks. And oh, somebody else is in the house. I'm gonna mod her up because I have a lot of respect for her. Joni Swan Football. Now this sister, beautiful sister. She's my French connection. She's a French sister that lives in France, and she has a channel where she follows Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. It's a professional soccer team. I love it. I love soccer. Soccer is another passion that I have. And she lives, I believe, in France, and she follows they call it football or we call it soccer in America, but they call it football over there. And make sure you guys subscribe to her channel. She speaks French, but she can speak English, and she is a sister. She's a sister, and she's one of our sisters from France, and she speaks the French language. And sometimes when I chat in her chat room, I'll use my Android phone to do to write in French, do translation. So thank you. Let me see what she's saying here. She says freedom of speech is there as long as you say what they want you to say. Just work and pay taxes and bills. And she knows English too, ladies and gentlemen. Right on, sister.
Thank you for the super chat.
All right, the French connection there, okay?
Thank you for the super chat.
And now what I got to do for her is what I do for everybody. I got to give her the super chat celebration music and the whole 9 yard. I can't shortchange her. Okay, so we're gonna do it. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all enjoy.
Tell them run it up. I wake up. Yeah.
Thank you for the
I
super chat.
wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. Now that the 10 run through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up.
All right.
No sleep, no
You are
rest.
listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that. There you go. All right. And let me put this back on here. And give me a minute. I'm going to be right back in just a moment. A short intermission before we end the program tonight. And here we go.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
All right, everybody. Peace. Let me ask everybody a question before I end the night. Let me ask you this. My presentation tonight, the information I gave you about depression and suicide and all of that, and then coupled with the video that some of you have either seen or you saw for the first time tonight, was it helpful to all of you in the chat room, all the different platforms listening? Was the information helpful? Was it definitely something that definitely helps you to kind of understand that we're all susceptible to this sort of thing? Not everybody has a different temperament. Not everybody is going to try to take their life, but we all go through some form of depression. Most Americans, most people, doesn't mean that you're going to take your life. Most people have ups and downs in their life where they're depressed. There's a difference. There's clinical depression, and then there's clinical depression where it's clinical. You are sick, you're chronic, you can't sleep. And then there's people who just get depressed because maybe something bad happened, right? You had a bad day, but you're able to bounce back. You don't think about taking your life. Okay. So there's people, when I'm at work and we ask guys, are you suicidal? Some guys will say, no, I'm suicidal, but I don't have any plans to take my life. I'm always suicidal. Or you'll have guys that will say they're hearing voices. What are the voices telling you? The voices are saying to do A, B, and C, take my life, do something harm to me. So these are the realities. I want to tell everybody, please protect and do everything you can to protect your mental health. If you're dealing with stress, you're dealing with things in life, you got to take time to take a breather. Another thing that's very important, and that breather is take time to exercise, relax, catch your breath. Don't let things overwhelm you. Anxiety is a very big problem in our society. Let me say something too. Since we've been in this thing called this virus that has put people in California, where I live at, where we were on a lockdown and all this sort of stuff, people are more and more isolated than ever before. And there's people that were isolated even before we had this virus, but now they're even more isolated. We have children, kids, high school age, that are thinking about taking their life. They're suicidal. Or there was a report of a kid taking, I think either it was a boy or it was a girl, took their life. We have depression and suicide has spiked up since this COVID has been in play and people have been told to socially distance. You can't go out to a movie. You can't do certain things because these social things we did in the past are not open. That does not mean you can't. I mean, I can still go to the park, do something, exercise. This is the thing about depression, how it works. Depression is nothing but anger turned on yourself, turned inward. Okay. One of the biggest problems is that if you're feeling depressed, what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when people are depressed? They want to sleep all the time. They don't want to get up and go. That's the worst thing you can do. When you're depressed, the more you sleep, the more your lack of activity will continue to spiral downward. And now you'll get more depressed. Lack of activity will definitely boost depression up. More activity, exercise, get out and go, get outside and get vitamin D, move your body, do something, generate energy. That can help decrease depression. Another thing, you got to talk to someone. If you don't want to talk to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, talk to someone that you're close to in your family. You got to talk. You can't bottle it all up inside, because when you bottle it all up, now that's when destructive things can happen, such as alcohol, even indulging in sex. All these different things are vices that people engage in when they're really not happy about themselves. We've got Real Lions Talk saying, Black people, what do we want to admit it or not? Oppression, equality, and depression, and because we think it's individuals that how they are able to pick us off. Well, we've got to be more collective in our thinking. We got to be willing to reach out to one another. We got to stop hating on one another. We got to stop that. That's not helping. We got to start recognizing that I gave you the story about my neighbor. You got to start recognizing that you just don't know people. Just because someone's got a smile on their face doesn't mean anything. You just really don't know. So if there's people in your family that you haven't talked to, you haven't called, or if there's a neighbor that you haven't talked to, sometimes just asking people, how are you doing today? How are you, man? What's going on? Sometimes people just need someone to talk to them. Now, another thing I'm going to tell you that's good for mental health. And I know we live in a world today where you can't be Philly touchy anymore, right? You can't touch people because you could be accused of sexual harassment or something of that nature. But they have done studies to show that the more that getting a basic hugging someone, in this case, hug your loved ones, hug your wife, hug your husband, kiss them and hug them, hug your children. Hug people that are close to you that you do know. Hugging actually is good for the spirit. It does something for your immune system, to your system. Hug and giving people love. It lets off. There's hormones that are let off in your body that are very helpful to you. Okay. Another thing, if you're battling mental health issues, you're schizophrenic, you have depression, you have chronic depression, you are bipolar personality. They've already done, and I'm going to do a video on this too. They've already done studies that show that increase in exercise. Matter of fact, this study is so cold-blooded, ladies and gentlemen, that they've proven that increase in exercise and activity actually is almost as good as taking the synthetic pills that they're giving you. The studies have shown that people that are active in an exercise program as part of their mental health treatment, that exercise is very effective in helping them to give off some of the very hormones in their brain, in their body, that the medications that the doctors will give them that's supposed to mimic that same expression. So exercise, mind and body cannot be separated. You must build mind and build body. You must. The problem with our medical establishment in this country, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's built off the physical and not the metaphysical, meaning most doctors, if they haven't been trained in holistic health, they usually examine you and look at you based on the physical. You're more than just a physical. You're spiritual. You're a soul. You have electric current running through your body. So you have to deal with your health, not only on the physical, the metaphysical, but the metaphysical, the spiritual, the soul, the mind, body, but then the soul has to come into place. And Western medicine, unfortunately, does not operate traditionally off of that concept of medicine based on the metaphysical level. Because medicine in America and in Western society is conformed to a three-dimensional ideology, what you see, smell, and can touch. I hope you all are getting what I'm saying there. I'm going to get ready to end, and I appreciate everyone who's come over tonight. We're 94 strong in HAPS tonight. I appreciate everybody that's watching out there in HAPS. Make sure you subscribe to me on HAPS for those of you that are watching, and come on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to the Information Man Show as well. I appreciate that. I will be back with more presentation. I have a lot of interesting topics that I want to get into on all these platforms. But because I'm new to HAPS, I've got more interesting content to provide the people over here that are giving me great support tonight. I'm getting great support from my YouTube base as well. And more people will watch the video after it's over anyway in YouTube. And I appreciate that. So let me see what else is going on. Let me see. Kendrick says, I would not choose no one. If the person chose not to be bothered with me, I'll leave them alone. I don't know the context in which you said that, brother, but I get you. We've got Miss Full Roller in the house. She says, Information Man, mods, and chat. Hey, everybody. She's saying to everybody, peace to you. Rob Allbang says, I might need to get your number, Info Man. Let me see. Because sometimes I need an outside source to rap with other than these folks, because I already feel like they have me labeled anyway. Yeah, that's what I want to say to everybody before I end the night. I think it's very important to find someone that you can talk to. If you're not willing to go talk to a professional, I think you need to, if you got a good friend, a family member that you trust, you've got to talk things out. Because when you do not talk things out, you bottle this stuff in and you're going to stress yourself out. And They've done studies on this. There is a link between cancer and being stressing your whole system out. So you really got to think about mind and body and spirit and how you're gonna work all these different things out. We're living in tough times right now because there's people out there who don't have work, people that are waiting in food bank lines in their cars. There's people who have caught this virus that are struggling. There are people that are struggling to pay their rent while we have this, while we have this no account government that has been BSing around with dealing with making people whole in this country so that we can get people back on track because they want to play political games. And that there are people that have taken their life because they're on their last leg. Everybody, once again, thank you for being here tonight. Do me the biggest favor, share this in your social media. I want to thank everybody. Let me see. I want to thank everybody in Periscope. I want to thank everybody who might be listening. Everybody in Periscope, thank you for being here. Everyone that might be listening straight off of Twitter. Everybody in my Facebook who's watching me, thank you. Everybody in Facebook, come on over and subscribe to me on YouTube as well. Everybody in the chat room who's in the house, I see we've got Lisa with Wheels is in the house again. Joanne, Swan Football, my French sister, I'm glad that you are in the house tonight. Miss FedEx, peace to you again. Raw B, we'll be talking soon. I got a lot to talk to you about. Real Lion Talk, thank you for being here. Miss Full Roller in the house. Kendrick, DOD who came in tonight. Back to the Basics who came in tonight. Cat PY2 who super chatted me. Greg X who super chatted me tonight. Everybody that gave me a super chat. I think Miss Cooper gave me a super chat in the HAPS platform. Oh, Miss Patience is in the house. Rob Allbanks, Miss Patience. Lions Den, AKA, is in the house. Lions Den, let me give you a call right now, brother. Can you answer your phone? Let me bring you right on in. Can you answer the phone, Lions Den? I'm about to bring you right on in. I did tell you tonight that I was going to give you a little bit of a call. And let me see if I can bring you in right now. I just want to get your opinion real quick before I end. Lions Den, I see you in the chat room, brother. Answer that phone.
What's up, Info?
All right, brother. I'm glad you're my partner. Let everybody know in the chat room how long we've worked together. We've worked together off and on. You know, you're a married man. There's, we go our own ways and do our own things, but we always seem to come back together and still respect each other. You know, we've had our ups and downs with each other over the years, brother, but we've worked together. Everybody know, where did we start when we started working together up to now? And Lions Den has a YouTube channel, and let everybody know where they can find you on your YouTube channel or social media, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Y'all can find me on my YouTube channel. It's Lions Den, aka Trey X. Info and I, we've been boys for 12 years?
12 years.
12 years. And yeah, I agree with Info. He and I had our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we always work together behind the scenes. We always got things done. Everything is peachy. So, that's how we roll. We're always going to be boys for life.
All right, brother. Now, you had a chance to hear a little bit of my video tonight, and I want to say peace again to everybody that's listening out there on all the different platforms. What is your thoughts about the brother Clyde Curry who delivered sort of like he gave us some dimes. He dropped some knowledge on us that really made me say, like, man, everything that he was saying is what I always had thought. And here you got somebody that was in the inside who got fed up with the things that he was seeing. What is your thoughts before I end tonight?
Yeah, man. I mean, I did check about an hour ago on CNN about the story, and I did saw your video on your show earlier about him. And it seems to me that, you know, he is basically going through a lot, you know, and not only as a human being, but as a law enforcement officer. And he sees some things that we've been telling them for almost 400 years, how Black people have been treated by police. And so he's fed up. And basically that the brother has been speak truthfully. And I agree with most of the people in the chat room. I think something went down. And it's not basically suicidal, because I'm noticing this brother's not even suicidal, having suicidal thoughts. And there's no reports that he was suicidal in the past. So I think something went down on this brother that, you know, we all know about, because remember, when the police code, we can't snitch on other police officers, because as they say, if you do that, then we're not going to see you ever again, as they say.
Right. Yeah, I think something foul went that. And a part of me, see, I'm trying to put my clinician's hat on here too. See, tonight I'm very split, because part of me as a professional, as a clinician, a part of me recognizes that this could happen to anybody who you believe is doing fine, but you don't know what's really going on with them. And that sometimes people have different temperaments where they can't take it anymore. And so they turn on themselves and take themselves out because they don't want to live anymore for whatever the reasons are. So a part of me looking at it from that point of view as a clinician says, okay, yes, that's probably what happened. Because even on the videotape that I played tonight, he did look stressed to me. Even when he was talking, thank you, brother. Even when he was talking, I saw, to me, looking at it from a professional eye, I saw depression. And depression doesn't always have to be crying and, no, you could be talking and looking somewhat normal. But look at these pictures right here. He is depressed. Anybody that's listening to me right now, looking at these pictures, tell me that this does not look, this looks like a man that's happy. Let me show some of these pictures again. Now look, these are the pictures where he's happy. And even in the pictures where he's happy, and I know as a clinician that you can't be fooled by that, because a lot of people can look happy one day and they could take their life tomorrow. Okay. But you can tell that this brother was struggling with something. With this close-up picture here, you can tell he's struggling with something. It's obvious, right? And the thing that's really the catcher for me, as I said tonight, is the fact that here he is with his sons. And because I'm a father too, and I'm a man of 51 years, my first thought is, well, a man who's got a family, who's got something to live for, isn't going to take his life and leave his kids or his sons or his daughters or his wife or whoever behind. But as I had said tonight, I had a neighbor who not only took his whole family out, he took himself out as well. And he had something going on. And he was one of the best neighbors in the damn neighborhood.
Tell the truth.
So you don't know what's going on with people, Lions Den. You just don't know.
That's so true. And when I used to live in the DC area, my uncle and I, we witnessed, and this is why I said that, you know, you never know what people have been going through behind the scenes. Just because they smile and they're cheerful doesn't necessarily mean they have anything going on with their personal life. But my uncle and I have witnessed someone jump off. I'm talking about literally jump off of an apartment building,
right?
Like a high-rise apartment building, and DC police is blocking all of us off for not going near that, you know, the body.
Yes,
but the thing of it is, we found out why he did that. We found out that the guy has cancer, and he has no later than 2 weeks to live. And so we never know what a person goes through inside. And, you know, that's what I'm saying. People, like I said, if you have family members or friends that you haven't even talked to in a while, it's okay to call them, check up on them, tell them that you love them, because you never know what anybody's going through, especially in this COVID situation now. We're in this COVID era. So you never know what a person's been going through in those days and time, you know?
Right. You said something that was very important. I got the picture of him Looks like he's in a classroom and he's got a kid by him. I guess the kid was sort of like playing cop himself. He looked very happy on that picture. But like I said, pictures can be deceiving. And let me read something in the chat room from Real Talk, and I'm going to say peace to him. Okay, Real Talk says, this is why I tell my brothers we still need brothers and sisters in positions of influence or authority to share light of it, but it seems like it's upon or people be labeled and troublemaker. So
wow.
Yeah, I just think it's just important, folks, too. If you got a family member out there, that's why I haven't ended the show yet, because this is too important. If you got a family member out there that's struggling, they're struggling, call them up, ask them how they're doing, take them out, check on them. A lot of us got family members at Lions Den that we haven't talked to. Hell, they live around the block from us, they live around the block, down the corner, around the stairs, and we don't even talk to them sometimes. If you live in another state, call a family member, see how they're doing, check on people. We're living in a time that's very impersonal. We're so focused on machines. We're so focused on our cell phones. We're so focused on Bitcoin. I heard my man Pharaoh says that today. I was listening to Pharaoh Says That today, Lions, and he's a YouTuber out of Chicago. And he said that it's funny how people are being conditioned like slaves and they don't even know it. You're allowing someone to create, they're coming up with all this, Bitcoin and all these different currencies. And you got people that are in the 1% telling you what you should be buying. You should be buying this Bitcoin, that Bitcoin. They got people buying artificial money. And his point of view is that the day when you allow someone to create artificial money or artificial anything, and they can lead you with that artificial, and they got control of it. Think about it like this: if the fiat currency, if paper currency goes out the door, which is nothing but legal tender anyway, it's just paper. But if all currency is just electronic, then you got to ask yourself, who controls it? It's not you.
Fact.
If you got a world, and I'm using his words, if you got a world wide web, as they call it, the computer, then this is the question that we have failed to ask, ladies and gentlemen. Where is the spider? Because if you got a world wide web, meaning a system, a global system of control of currency, control of this, then you got to ask yourself, who's the spider? Who's the person that's manipulating everything? And the reason why I'm saying this, not to get too far off subject, it goes back to what this brother did to himself, is that he was in a system. He said in the video, it's a system that I couldn't fight. It's a system that's so overwhelming. Y'all just don't know how overwhelming a system. This is a police officer who was in the military. He said he had the highest accommodations, and he himself said that it was a system that was rigged like a casino. He couldn't fight it. So if he couldn't fight it and he's in the inside, because I know there are black men and women who join law enforcement because they want to make a change. There's bad ones out there. Ooh, there's bad ones. Just like in the movie Boys in the Hood. Remember that scene in Boys in the Hood, Lions Den?
Yeah, I remember
when he said,
that movie.
I hate ends like you, right? There's a bunch of them like that, right? But then there's those out there who actually want to help, and they're in the system thinking that they can change a system, and they can't, and they're frustrated. I know a brother personally I went to college with. He was a law enforcement agent, law enforcement. And then it all went bad. They tried to railroad the brother, Lions Den. Because he saw things that wasn't kosher. We got 114 strong watching us over in Haps. And we got 33 strong in YouTube. People in YouTube are going to sleep now. They're saying, info will catch you at another time. But I love everybody in my YouTube family because that's the family that built me. And I'm just I'm trying to build a family build a following and build something over in the HAPS app that I'm using, because there's wonderful people over here. A lot of professionals. There's professionals on YouTube as well. But what I notice is that there's a lot of people over here that are professional in broadcasting, things of that nature. And I hope that if any of them are watching me tonight, that they can appreciate my presentation and where we're coming from. Yeah, we got into a little bit of conspiracy, because that conspiracy, and black people, we have the right to have that feeling that maybe it was foul play. You know why? Because we've got too many examples by history of foul play when it's come to our people involved in military. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say something that's very explosive right now. You know, I think I was talking to BMT, and peace out to BMT if he's out there. There's situations where when people go to the military, Lions Den, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm here.
They go to the military, they're fighting in a war or whatever, and there have been situations where black soldiers have been shot by their own fellow soldiers. And then they lie and say, oh, he got shot in battle. Oh, it was an accident. No, they shot him. Because remember, the FBI report in 2006, and this has even been going on before 2006, but I'm referencing their report, and they said that you have these hate groups, the white supremacist groups that have infiltrated law enforcement, have infiltrated military.
Fact.
And that's some of the people that you saw out there on January the 6th, who were police officers in the crowd, because there were officers who recognized them. And you had ex-military people who knew the scale of the Capitol building, knew how to get in there, knew the secret offices. Did you know that Clyde Curry had a secret office? My brother, Lions Den.
Yeah, I heard about him having a secret office. I think it's been reported, you know, when the Capitol riots happened, that he did have a secret office.
Right.
And somebody knew where it was. I didn't understand who told them where his secret office was. I heard about that. Hey, Info.
Yes.
Do you remember the incident a couple of years ago when we was on Blog Talk Radio when I forgot the DJ's name coming up. Well, anyway, he was talking about this female soldier named Lavinia Johnson. He was really talk about it. Kaz Carson. He was talking about Lavinia Johnson.
Yes.
You know, the black military. The father was in the military man himself.
Yes.
They came from St. Louis, and they thought that she committed suicide, but it turns out that really it was a cover up. That it wasn't suicide. And it turned out that she was raped and murdered.
Oh,
and
my God.
The military tried to cover it up.
Right, right.
Do you remember that?
Right. Oh, I think I do remember. That's a long time ago. We've got, let me see. We got Miss Take. I can't make out. I'm bad with names. But I put her message on the board. She says, hello from Colombia. Thank you for being here.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot of people watching tonight, man. We're all over the live streaming sphere tonight. And this is how I'm going to continue streaming from now on. I'm hitting all areas because we got YouTube is great. It's been my bread and butter for a long time, but we got to expand the audience into other platforms as well. Lions Den, I got to get you back on to do another podcast with me, which will be podcasting into HAPS and YouTube and all that good stuff. Got to get you back on, but I think I remember what you're talking about. We got Marlo's music channel in the house saying this is really good information. Thank you, brother. That's why I call myself the information man. That's why I do. Now, I'm keeping it real tonight. If you notice about my channel, you don't see me over here having panels where I'm arguing with people all night. I don't do that. Not getting on. I'm not doing the panel thing anymore. Now, if I have a panel on my channel, I'll bring people on because we're going to have intelligent talk. When I go on Raw B's channel, because I know that I'm going to have an intelligent adult conversation over there on her channel. When I go on BMT's channel, I know that I can have an intelligent adult conversation on BMT's channel. Now, I'll give a shout out to brother Bernard Riley, who has a show in the Manosphere. I've gone over there. He showed me nothing but respect. The brothers have shown me nothing but respect over there. I've gone on his panels to talk about a few things here and there, and I've got nothing but respect. And I respect everybody that does what they want to do. But on my channel, you're going to get information. You're going to get stuff that you can learn from. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be fired up. You're going to be motivated, the whole 9 yards. You're going to learn something. I'm going to learn something from you. You're going to learn something from me. We're going to all learn together. But having panel with the arguing back and forth and no, I'm finished with all of that, because you don't build content like that. You don't build a channel on that, and you ain't going to last that long doing that. So that's why I stay away from it, Lions Den, and everybody listening.
Yes, facts.
Focus on content. All these streaming platforms are content driven. Your content's got to be, if you're going to have panels, have intelligent talk that leads to a solution. And we got my man right here. I'm going to put him on the screen, Ted Hicks. He's a moderator in my HAPS chat room. And there's some people that's in there that I want to moderate, and I'll just have to go back later, find their names and moderate them. We're 115 strong with people watching over in HAPS. And the brother says, lines of communication must always be open. Exactly, my brother. Lines of communication must always be open and tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Now, Lions Den, I'm going to say it again, man. We got to check on our loved ones. We got to check on people we care about. We got to let people know that they're loved, they're wanted, because you just never know what is happening.
Facts.
That's why, brother, that's why, there's times when me and you can go a long time without talking, and you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, but I always try to reach back out, because at the same time, I want to know, how are you doing? Right? Because for all we know, this is the thing about it, folks. You don't know if a person still got a leg, a foot, an eye, or what. And especially with this virus, you don't know what's really happening with people, Right. So sometimes you got to put away all the BS to the side, and you got to really be about what people are about people. And see, this is the thing. This brother, Clyde Curry, I wonder, my conditioned brain is making me think, if it wasn't foul play, okay, folks, if it wasn't foul play, it makes me wonder, did he talk to anybody? Was there anyone that he had an outlet within that police department? Right? Was there?
Right.
Was he able to talk to his wife if he was still married? Was he able to talk to his religious clergyman if he was a religious man? Or did he have a brother? Was there anybody that he could have talked to? And was there anybody in his family or friends that said to themselves, there's something not right about Clyde today? I just wonder. Tell
the truth.
My question.
Go ahead, brother.
My question is, I was going to say, Info, my question is, like you said, I mean, I see he has 3 sons, but does he have brothers? Does he have sisters?
See, I don't know.
A mother and father? That's my question. Like, where are they? Are they a part of his life? We don't know. Yeah, see, unfortunately, I didn't get that information. I didn't dig into that further. But see, he's from Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken, right? Right.
And from what I understand about Louisiana, the South, it's all about family in the South, right? It's true. The South is built on family. That's the culture in the South. Tell me if I'm lying, folks.
Tell the truth.
That is the culture in the South. To be family is very important. Family is the foundation of everything. So it does make me wonder, what was the relationship with his family members? Did he have a brother? Did he have a sister? Was there something going on in it? See, to me, if a person takes their life, Lions Den, it's a combination of all these different phases. It's a combination of feeling isolated, hopeless, maybe not having someone that will listen to him. Obviously, there was nobody listening to him in the law enforcement agency that he represented. That's why he said what he said about law enforcement. Was there support in his family? Was he having money problems? Oh, this is another thing I failed to bring up tonight. Did he have health problems? Did he get because people do that. Did he get a life-altering or a terminal diagnosis? See, a lot of that plays into this.
The same thing that happened to that guy that I saw, or my uncle and I witnessed when he killed himself. It turned out that he had cancer and he had 2 weeks to live. So you never know what a person goes through. You never know.
Oh, right. We got Lisa and with Will saying being right won't make me answer anyway, but the right way. We are all God's children, is what he says. Rob Banks says, yes, it is God's first, family second. Right. We've got RP who says there is no body system in the military. There is no buddy system in the military. Yeah, that's another thing that he said in his video, because he was in the military too. He said in the military, they only get 1 or 2 referrals to go see a therapist, and they only get it for a short period of time. And my my moderator in the HAPS community says mental health is something, but during COVID, unbelievable amount of pressure. Then we have commentary from Tamika. I'm not saying her name right. She says, I just learned we could edit comments. You'll notice that too. Okay, cool. There's a lot of things I got to learn about this platform. So got a lot to learn. But so in the military, when you have problems, they only give you so many opportunities to see therapy for so many. And the same thing with the police. He said same thing with policing, that you only get so many opportunities, right, to get the help that you need. Another thing that he said that I wanted to bring up, I think we said it already. So these are the variables that could have led to this brother taking his life, on top of other personal things that were happening in his life that drove him. Because I don't think it was just the police situation that he was in as a police officer. I think there were other variables compounded with the stress of being an officer, because he said it himself in the video that officers go through a lot of stressful stuff that they deal with, and they don't decompress properly. Another thing too that I've never understood about our country, America. Lions Den, do you know, and I think people know this already, do you know it? You have to go through more hours of training to become a beautician, a cosmetologist, than it takes to become a police officer. Can you believe that?
Tell the truth.
Yeah. I know some people that's like that.
RP says facts in the chat room. Then we've got Toronto Narcissistic says, when the Constitution was written, all men were equal. Blacks were not included. It was for European settlers with different beliefs and arrived of unknown Polish immigrants. That's what he was saying. Yeah, that's a fact. We know that we weren't given rights because black people are the only people in America who had to get our rights through amendments, 15th Amendment, 14th, all that kind of stuff. We're the only group of people in this country who actually had to have laws passed to give us the rights that everyone else was given just on cold blunt.
It's facts.
So this is what I'm going to say right now, Lions Den. Whenever you hear people say, you should be glad that you were brought over here from the continent of Africa, even though there were black people that were already here that were natives, because we got reclassified too in some cases. But you should be glad that you were brought over here. What do you mean? wait a minute. America should be glad because we're the ones that built this place. Okay.
That's fact.
All right. So think about it. If you hadn't have brought us over here, you wouldn't have the America that you have today.
That's true.
Because the triangular slave trade and slavery is what industrialized American society. It's what built your cities. So whenever you hear someone say to you, Lions Den, well, you should be glad, even if you hear a black person talk this nonsense, you should be glad they brought you over here because you would have. No, America should be glad that we're here because we built it for you. If you took us out of the equation, what would America be today? What kind of culture would we have? Music, art. Think about all the influences that we've had in this society. Not just the society, the whole damn world. Okay. When you look at the Moors from North Africa, did you know this, ladies and gentlemen? It was the Moors from North Africa who controlled most of Europe. When Europe went into a dark ages, they went from a dark ages into a renaissance. They went into a renaissance because during the Christian Crusades, they were in a battle to force the Moors out because Moors were spreading Islam across the world, right? They forced them out. And the Moors left them libraries, all kind of technologies. You can go to places in Europe and around the world where you'll see those domes that the Moors built. They built stuff in these places. The Moors controlled parts of Ireland. See, people don't see you. What they normally do is they teach us history about we were in slavery. No, we were much more than just slaves. We weren't always slaves. Okay. The Moors brought civilization and technology to this world. Christopher Columbus couldn't have never gotten to where he got if it was not for a black Moor on his ship who navigated. Even though he didn't discover America, because how can you discover something when there's already someone living there? It's just like if I was to walk down the street and I found you in your car, Lions Den, and all of a sudden I say, oh, I discovered this car, but you inside your car. How the hell could I have discovered your car if you're already inside your car? It's enough to make you laugh.
That's bad.
So you had Moors, you had the light bulb. Everybody thinks that Thomas Edison invented the light. There was a brother who actually made it possible for that light bulb to work. I'm going to do a show on black inventors. Okay, your ironing board, your iron that you use, that was a black inventor. Your ice box. When you go the wait a minute. I'm talking. Let me not miss one. The street light outside. Black inventor created that. All these different things we have given a contribution in technology. The third rail. When you look at trains and stuff, it was a black man who came up with the idea of the third rail. Not only that, it was a black man who came up with the system to allow the train tracks to connect to each other. Remember, I'm going to give you some history here. Remember back in the day, they used to have people. This is where the word grease monkey came from, ladies and gentlemen. Learn something.
Tell the truth.
Grease monkey is a word. It's a very derogatory word, by the way, but grease monkey was a word that came out of the fact that back in the day, you had people who had to jump between trains and they had to wax it and put all this fluid to allow trains to connect to each other. So they called them grease monkeys. Hey, grease monkeys, get down there and grease those bars so we can get these trains connected. Then eventually, when a black man came out with an invention, they eventually figured out how to connect those trains without having people called grease monkeys. I know it sounds weird what I'm saying, but that's where it comes from.
Right. Facts.
Well, brother, I'm going to have to call it quits tonight. As much as I wish I can continue going on, but it's late. I tried to go on earlier tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but I had some technical problems. Like I said, I just hate it when one thing goes bad. You get the video right, then all of a sudden the sound goes bad, and then you got to start all over. I just hated that, but it happened. I'm going to try to do it as best I can here. Let me see. We got Ted Hicks who says yes. And everybody in the chat room, let me see. We got Patience. We got Rob Allbanks. We got RP rocking with us. We got Lisa and Wills rocking with me tonight. They rocked with us before. Rod Allbanks. We've got the Model Music channel. A lot of people have left because we had 49, 50 people over here at one point tonight in the YouTube, but people are tired. It's late for everybody.
Yeah.
Let's get off. Lions Den, I'll talk to you soon, brother. We'll get back at it again soon, brother. I'll be in contact with you. Now that I know your schedule, I know that you're off on Monday and Tuesday. That's great because I can try to get you on the platform and do some things together, okay?
Okay, no doubt. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. You take care of yourself, okay?
Take care, brother.
All right, peace.
All right, one.
Information is power. Tell the truth.
All right, folks. That's it for me. Good night, everybody. Good night. I'm about to call it a quits tonight. It's been great being here with all of you. Thank you for being patient with me. Looks like some people left the YouTube chat room. I know it's late for people. Some people need to be going to sleep. Some people got work tomorrow. I've got to get my butt up. It's only like 9:52 in the West Coast. That's why I'm up this late, because I'm in the West Coast. So, you know, I've got the time zone advantage right now for myself. But I'm going to relax, kick back, and relax myself. And I'll be back with more presentation. I've got some interviews coming up this weekend. Okay. I got a African Esquire. She's Pan-African. Y'all know her on YouTube. She's very well known. I've got her, the African Esquire. She's going to be with me. She has a book that she's come out with. And we're going to be doing a one-to-one. And I'll be interviewing her. And then what I'll do on Haps, when I do that interview, I'll be loading that up by way of StreamYards into the video share here so that folks over here on Haps can see that as well. So everybody out there on YouTube, peace to you tonight. Facebook, Haps, thank you. Man, we're going strong over here on Haps. We're 120 strong this late at night. I really appreciate that. And give it a like and give it a share. And peace to you, everybody out there. Again, have a great night. Patience, have a great night, sister. You're always great support here, as always, and we're going to do it again. I'm going to try to come on if I can this weekend. I'm going to do my best on when it comes to my first YouTube channel, The Information Man Show. I'm going to try to come on at a little bit more decent time so that more people, because when I come on too late, people who would normally watch me in YouTube, they're sleeping. So when I come on at a little bit more decent time, those folks, I meant to come on at 6 o'clock and everything went haywire. So let's get on out of here. You all have a great night, a great morning, wherever you are in the world. And once again, I want to say thank you.
Information is power.
Peace.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Information is power. the truth. Information is power. Information is power.
Issues, I know I got issues. Hate you, then I miss you again. Selfish, I can be so selfish. Spend more time with meeting your friends. Please forgive my attitude. I want my cake and eat it too. But a little grace would be enough for me to prove. Baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I could finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it. Working out my issues with you, with you. Crutches, I be holding crutches. Can't let go of any mistakes. Distant, sometimes I get distant. Stay away as long as it takes. Forgive my attitude. I need my cake and eat it too. But a little time will be enough for me to prove. Baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it. Working out my issues with you, with you. My highs and my lows is part of being human. Can you weather the storm? I'm starting to believe you can. Cause baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want these problems, I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it. Working out my issues with you, with you.
Information is power. Information is power.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for the support again. I appreciate it. We'll be back with more presentation. Take care of yourself, because mental health and depression and these sort of things can hit any of the people that we love, that we cherish. Make sure you reach out and tell someone that you care about, that you love them, and be open to being able to talk to them if they have any issues. Be willing to reach out if you have issues that you need to talk to someone about or need to get professional help. Very important. Have a good night. Peace. Peace to Facebook. Peace to folks out there in Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, and Haps. It's been a great night. Thank you. Peace.